Alright, welcome to rebuilding a turboed motorcycle in your living room when you ain't really got a clue what you're doing. I've got a few little jobs I need to do before I try and start this bike, like get the radiator on, which I'm doing now, so I can get some coolant in it. I don't dare to start an engine without coolant. I've got to get the fuel tank on, as you kind of need that to start a bike. I don't want to do it with some sort of hanging bottle and set myself on fire. I know, I'm a pussy. I am getting really excited though to see if A, it starts, as this is the first engine I've ever rebuilt. B, it explodes, as it's the first engine I've ever rebuilt. But this is my only method of transport, and I haven't rode for quite a long time. And I live in the middle of the ghetto, kind of ghetto. I'm sure there's other worse ghettos out there, but mine's a pretty shitty ghetto. And there's just nothing round here. So, been working on the bike quite a lot. Not just mechanically. I've had to do a lot of painting for all of my fairings and stuff, which I'll show at some point. And while I'm rebuilding this bike in my living room, this is where my bike lives because fuck leaving it outside. There's loads of bike thieves around here. And I don't want to have to stab one of them in the neck with a pencil. But I won't go into too much detail about getting the radiator on or anything like that because it's just a standard MT-07 at this point. Nothing special on the water system. Like, you don't change anything. I think my radiator is actually an aftermarket one, but I got T-boned by a car years ago and yeah, it completely fucked my radiator, so I got a new one. But other than that, it's the same. The horn's the same. Just the only thing I'm doing with the horn is putting a bit of dielectric grease on the connectors. Just in case you don't know about England, it's pretty shitty weather here a lot, so all our connectors corrode. A little bit of dielectric grease on them just slows that down. It doesn't stop it completely, but it will slow it down a lot. And I'll put it on the screen as well. It's dielectric, just in case I speak like an idiot, which I know I do, but yeah, that's how you spell it. It's pretty standard stuff, so I'm sure wherever you live, there's that kind of stuff. So I got the tank on, and in usual me style, I might have forgot to press record. And I know on GoPros they beep when you press record, so you'd think I'd be able to manage that. Which is a shame, because the tank is actually slightly different than a standard MT-07. So on a turbo build, your fuel pressure needs to increase as your boost pressure increases. And then that would technically make it so that it'd be higher than what the mapping of the bike could actually allow. So basically, the fuel pump on my bike has got a boost input, and this allows you to dynamically change the fuel pressure based on the boost input. So as the boost goes up, the fuel pressure goes up. And that's one of the reasons why I run a wastegate on this system, because if you run a wastegate, you can set the maximum boost pressure that you can get, which then caps the maximum fuel pressure you can get. And like mine starts at about 44 at idle and gets to about 85, 90, I think. So even if you've got your throttle mapped to 100%, if more boosts start going through it, then you're going to get more fuel pressure going into the head. And it is possible to put an MT-09 fuel injector on this, so you can actually pump even more petrol in there. But for now, let's just stick with the MT-07 fuel injector, because I can't really afford to do the rest of what you'd need to do to the engine. So we'll have to stick with just a turbo. It's fine. I can live with that. Plus, I haven't even started this engine yet, so I don't need to be taking it to bits, changing pistons and stuff and sticking it back together. So this plug here that I'm putting in now, that's my wideband O2 sensor going into the converter. So that allows my ECU to make small changes to the throttle map based on like the AFR readings, like the air fuel ratio. So while I'm trying to be quiet so I can hear the door, waiting for a delivery, I'm just going to get my fuel tank cover on, just so I can stick my fairings on it quickly. I'm mid-painting them at the minute, and I need to just see what they look like on the bike, make sure I'm not painting any of the angles wrong. Also, whether it's just a mad idea and I've gone mental, which has been known to happen, so it's always good to double check things. And yeah, I did just nearly drop it and scratch it. But I didn't scratch it, so quit in. We're alright. I didn't have to get stressed. So I guess there's a little preview of what my right fairing's going to look like. Kind of like that, but more finished. Makes me think you're supposed to buy 2 litres and then drop it and spill it all over you. So now I just got to wire in my fuel pressure gauge and my oil pressure gauge so I can check them out while I run it. Help me know if things are going right. It's pretty simple though, they just plug in. I've already run in sensor cables. Sounds like it. Okay, so oil's in, water's in, petrol's in. We've got exhaust pipe linked outside so we don't die of carbon monoxide fumes. We've got fuel pressure. If it does, at least we can see. Okay, wish me luck. Oh shit, that's not good. Oh fuck. Oh no. Okay, wish me luck. Oh shit, that's not good. Oh. Oh. I did forget to put something in. I forgot to put the chain tensioner in. Not the chain tensioner, the chain tensioner cap bolt. Just say Matty and knew where the one fire thing was. If he's on fire, he's not telling anybody. It was high five. Okay, take 2. I've got oil pressure and that looks proper. Looking for more oil leaks. guessing that smoke is something's leaking out the exhaust pipe. No, that smoke is the exhaust pipe. It's the paint on it. That's right, I forgot it's freshly painted and it needs to be heated in stages. Well, I'm no bike expert, as you know, but that sounds like my bike. And other than a little silly mistake of missing one bolt out the engine, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm pretty happy with that. In fact, I'm very happy with that. But I'm trying to be cool. So I'm happy with that. Yeah. So the bolt I missed was the cap head that covers up the automatic chain tensioner. When I'd done all that, I couldn't find in the manual what the torque setting was for it. And I figured I'd look it up later on. But I didn't. So, yeah, turns out there's an oil gallery that goes through your automatic chain tensioner. And if you don't do it, oil shoots out really far. But yeah, all sorted. So I'm going to go around all the bolts, give everything a final torque just in case, mark them all that they're done, and then I'll go out for a quick test ride and see how it works. And I guess I'll get back to you on it. Alright, cool. Cheers for watching. I'll catch you in a bit.